What's up, guys? We've got a special episode here today. I've made a brand new account in a brand new realm, and we're going to do a brand new beginner's guide and a free-to-play series. So I'm going to not spend any money on this account, and we're going to see how far we can go. Yeah, guys, so this is Final Fantasy 15, A New Empire. This is a online, massively multiplayer online game. It's a strategy game. It's a war game. It's a build up empire, build up your empire. You'll build up massive armies, and you'll battle other empires and battle for the title of emperor. So that's the very general basics of this game. One thing I will say is it is quite a pay-to-win game. So if you're not going to be spending money, or if you want a game that is more even for people who don't spend money, this probably isn't your game. Like, let's say it right there. Some people in your realm are going to spend crazy amounts of money. Like I know people who have spent over 100 grand on this game. So yeah, there's that, guys. So you're probably not going to compete against those people, but you're in the same realm as some of them, and they might come after you at some point. So we'll get into that. But let's talk a little bit about the layout here. So there's primarily two views. If you come down here to the bottom left, there's inside your empire, which is this view. So you'll come in here if you want to train troops, if you want to build up your buildings, level up your buildings. Yeah, that's primarily it. For anything within your empire will be here. And if you click it again, this is the realm view. So you can go around and you can see all the other people around you. And you can see the monsters, which we have here. We have monsters around the map. And you can see layers and all that kind of stuff. So we'll get into that. But let's go around here first to the other things. So that's the two different views. The second tab over is quests. So every 6 hours you can start these quests. And all you do is you just come around here, you click on Hero, Guild, and then there's VIP quests. Click on Guild and start. Boom, boom, boom. The Guild quests, they'll give you loyalty and Hero XP. And the Hero quests will give you some resources and Hero XP. And then they also potentially can give you items too. So it's good to always do them every 6 hours if you can. Just log in, hit start, and then hit collect when they're done. And also you get Empire quests. So as you level up your account, and there'll be quests that you'll complete. So every time you level up a building, you'll get a completed quest, and you can come down here and look at all the quests. If you build walls, if you build traps, leveling up, research, and then there's other stuff here too. So it's good to always try to do those if you can. And once you do them, this is how you collect them. And when you collect it, some of them give you special items like Empire barriers, and you get some for renaming yourself. But typically they'll give you resources and gold, or something of the like. So that is quests. The next tab over is items, and there's 3 different tabs within the item. There's store, guild store, and your items. In the store, let's see, speed ups and resources. I wouldn't buy these in advance. Just if you need food, you can use gold for it. Or if you need to speed something up, you can use gold to do that. But gold's pretty valuable, and I wouldn't speed up, use gold for resources or speed ups unless you really have to. So that's that section of the store. The guild store. Let's see, you can change your name here, and you can use loyalty to do that. You can rename your empire, rename a guild. The big things that I use, and another thing for the guild store is you need loyalty to buy these items in the guild store. Typically, the only things that I get in the guild store are teleports, random teleports, toolkits, which are, once you craft items, we'll get into that later, but let's see, sometimes I'll use it for a hero's chance, but pretty rare. It's not good unless you're doing it for an event. Everything else, probably not. Bookmarks, you'll want to, at some point, want to open up your bookmarks. And bombs. Bombs are pretty good use. Sometimes I'd use it for a gem saver. We'll get into all that later, though. Never, 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 under any circumstance, use loyalty for resources or speed-ups. Just skip these two. Never use loyalty for these two. It's terrible. The war tab, most of this stuff is good. You might want to buy barriers at some point. Barriers will protect your empire. So once you have a barrier up, you can't be attacked for the duration of the barrier. So there's 8. There's 1 hour. There's 8 hour, 24 hour, 3 day, and there's a 30-day one also. War commissions, we'll get into that later. Anti-scout, so people can't scout your empire and see what troops you have, what buildings you have. These are pretty good value. Though you will get anti-scout from other things in the game too, so you may not have to use loyalty for it. And really the only thing in the war tab that I wouldn't get with loyalty are these bottom 3 here. These are bad, real bad. Bad value. Never use loyalty there. And the final tab is treasures in the guild store. Typically I never buy any treasure with loyalty. You might want to get gems at some point here, but I wouldn't. I'd use loyalty for other things or save it. And then the final tab is your items. And this is anything you collect during the game from events or from attacking people, or tons of different ways to get stuff here, or maybe things you purchase. That'll be in one of these tabs here. Resources, that's gold, so if you buy a pack, the gold will be sitting here. If you complete events for gold, it'll be here, and all the resources. The speed-ups tab, and just any speed-ups you have. No real reason to, I don't see why they even have this. I guess if you want to see what speed-ups you have saved. The war tabs, if you have barriers, that'll be here. If you have attack boosts or mark size boosts or anything, that'll be in the war tab. And then there's the treasures tab, which is if you collect things from events, it'll probably be here. Different treasures like chests or, yeah, tons of stuff. The next tab is mail tab. So if somebody sends you a message, it'll be here. Anytime you, pretty much most of the things you do in the game will give you a battle report or some kind of report. That'll be here. And you can save it by starring it, and then it'll be in the save tab here. And then there's the notice. Anytime somebody's joins a guild, or you buy a pack or something, or you're promoted, it'll be here. So there's that, guys. And and then there's the more tab. So once you set up your account, or once you make an account, you want to attach an email to it, you can do that in the accounts and devices. And if you want to log out and log into different accounts and stuff, that's all here. Profile, you can see what other people see when they click on your empire. And yeah, so not too much going on there. Your hero is right here, and everybody will start out with a Noctis hero. You can buy new heroes as the game goes along. Noctis is just a good basic hero, and you can gear him up, and you can craft gear, but we'll get into that at some other point. For now, that's pretty much it for the more tab. And then there's the blog. And anytime they add a new feature to the game or add an event or something, an interesting event, it'll be here in the blog tab. So I definitely read the blogs as they add new ones, and there'll be like a little red symbol here saying there's a new blog post anytime one's out. Whew! So we got through that, guys. That's the actually there is more to the layout. First thing, when you're in the realm view, you have these 5 up here. This first one will bring you, so say you're looking around and you forget where your empire is, you can click that and it'll center it on your empire. Another thing to note when you're looking at the realm map is you're going to be, your empire has this light blue text font, and anyone in your guild will have a blue, like a darker blue color, and then anybody that's an enemy or another empire that could attack you or you could attack them, will have this here orange color. The next one over is bookmarks. So say you find an interesting spot on the map and you want to bookmark it, you can click it and then click this and then confirm. And you can rename it here too. You can name it, whatever, boom, boom, and then hit enter and it'll update it here, confirm. You can also, anytime you want to let your guildmates know where something is, you can click it, click the bookmark, and then copy chords, and you can copy it to mail, to chat, or the clipboard. That's bookmarks. Here, if somebody gives you a location, an X and a Y, you can enter it in here, and go to, oh, that's not even a valid spot. Boom, you can go there, somebody gives you some coordinates. The next one is, so there's different realms, guys. And this won't really matter much starting out, but at some point, if you keep playing the game, you will battle other realms. So at some point, this is our realm here. At some point, you will have to battle other realms. So, so that's what this is. You can look around and see who you could potentially battle in the future. Sometimes I like to look around. It'll also usually say your realm age and things like that there. And this final one, guys, this is the crystal. And the crystals, it's really like the main thing of the game is if you want to attack the crystal, every 3 days it opens up for, it opens up every 3 days and you can attack it. And you can teleport down here next to it. Another thing to note is if you teleport here, any barrier you have will disappear and you're fair game to be attacked. So that's worth noting. So you have to remove your barrier to teleport here, and then you can attack the crystal. You can attack it from anywhere, but it's a long march to get here. It'll take your troops a long time to march across the map to get here. Yeah, so every 3 days this opens up, and once somebody captures it, it's contestable for the next 12 hours, which means somebody else can come in and attack it. And if they then capture it from you, the timer resets, and then there's 12 hours, and somebody has to hold it for 12 hours, and then it will be under protection again for 3 more days, and then it'll reopen up. And the cool thing about going for it is you'll get an title of Emperor if you capture it, and then you can give titles to other people. And there's like set titles. You can there's titles that boost all kinds of different boosts for the game. You can make your troops stronger, different kinds of things, and you hold those titles for roughly 3 days until the crystal is captured by someone else. So that's the crystal, guys. That's sort of like the main thing of the game. Well, that's one main thing of the game. And now let's get started here, guys. So first thing you're going to want to do when you get an account is start building things. And I would just go through. Up here there is a build icon. It looks like a hammer. If you click that, it'll recommend a building to upgrade. And your Citadel is like, this is like the main thing for, it's like no other buildings in your empire can be above this. And anytime you're looking at somebody on the realm map, and there's this number here, that's what level their Citadel is. So the higher their Citadel, the higher this number, probably the stronger they're going to be. Not always, but as a general rule of thumb, if you see somebody with like a 30 here, they're going to be a lot stronger than somebody with like a 1. So let's build this up, guys. Let's upgrade it. And as you upgrade your Citadel, it allows you, it does a couple things. Your march size, so the amount of troops you can send in any particular attack or to occupy something, goes up by 1,000 every time you upgrade your Citadel. So right now, I can only send 1,000 troops in a march. When I upgrade it to 2, you can send 2,000 troops. And you also get some rewards each time you upgrade your Citadel. Usually they're pretty good. So let's do this. You upgrade it, and boom, you can hit free here. You can speed up so many minutes of your upgrade depending on your VIP level, and if you have VIP active or not. That's the main thing. So boom, we get some rewards. Nice. And I would just keep going through here, guys. So that is your Citadel here. I just upgraded my university, which is this building here. And this is where you can upgrade, you can do research. And these research, there's an adventure tab. And you know, you can go through all these one by one. We'll do that at some point. I don't have any of the materials to do that yet. There's an economics tab, which boosts your, it'll be mostly like food. There's a bunch of different resources, and you can research to produce more of each of those. We'll get into that in a little bit. We got a combat section, and this is going to be for making your troops stronger and for upgrading to higher levels of troops. That's probably the most important tab here. A defense tab, which you can research traps and different things to help protect your empire from other people attacking you. And then there's a hero tab. One of the first things I would do once you get University Level 1 finished, so now we can see here there's a new icon here. So the build icon, the research icon, let's click that. Go ahead and research Monster Tactics 1. This is probably the first thing I would do playing this game. And if you want, you can speed up. You can speed this up. So if you click speed up here, it'll be done in about 7 minutes if I don't speed it up. I'm going to go ahead and speed it up just so I can show you guys how this works. So we'll wait that last minute. Let's go back to building now. So farms, guys. Farms are for producing food, and you're going to need food for, well, as you can see here, these are the resource requirements. So food is one of the resources, and if you have a bunch of farms, it will produce food. So let's go ahead and do this and get this started here, guys. And now your farms are going to be over in this section. So any of your resource producing buildings are going to be here, except for one. There is one resource building that will be, it wants me to collect these quests here. We're going to do that later. Yeah, so all your resource production buildings will be here, or at least most of them. You have food. You can also produce energy extractors, which will create energy. And as you level it up, there's more resources that you can produce out of these too. But for now, let's just worry about it. So we got farms for food, energy extractors for energy. Quarries will produce stone, and you're going to need all these at some point. So yeah, and it's going to require you to make at least one of each building. So let's go ahead and make the mine, and mine produces metal. What I would do, guys, is I would go ahead and build a couple of each resource. What some people do is they'll make all of one, and that's fine too. It makes it easier to get a lot of one resource. One thing, now if you click on these resource production facilities, you can see your hourly stone income. So this top one is for this particular building, so it's 50 an hour for this building. My overall is 50 because I only have this one stone producing building. And then your capacity. So the capacity here, once you hit 25,000 for me of stone, it will stop producing stone until I spend it down. So you can't get above 25,000 from your quarry. If you need more than 25,000, you'll have to buy it with gold or collect it elsewhere on the map. So by attacking people, you can loot resources and other things. We'll get into that later, but that's what this capacity is. This building will keep producing stone until I have 25,000. And then it will stop until that number goes down. And the thing is, if you have all stone, each building will increase your capacity. So if I make another stone here, another quarry, and speed it up, you can see my capacity will now be 50,000. So that's the benefit of having all one resource, is you're going to have a really high capacity for that resource. So that is kind of nice. And there's certain times you want a high capacity. But the reason I would just go ahead and have an average is just because it's easy, and then like have a couple of each is because your capacity will go up for each, and it'll be good starting out. At some point you might want to specialize, but for now mix is fine. Another thing I would go ahead and do, guys, right off the bat, there is an Empire quest, and right when you're starting off, this is the best time to do it. Let's see if it says it here. Okay, guys, it doesn't display it here, but if you make 10 buildings of a particular production facility, so say you make 10 quarries, there will be a Empire quest that will appear here. So I'm going to show you guys. It's sort of a hidden quest, you could say. Let's go ahead and make 10 of these, just so I can show you. And I would go ahead and do this pretty early on before you level these up too much, because you can destroy these buildings once you make them, but then you lose all the resources that you've invested into building them up. So yeah, I'd go ahead and do this early. So we've got 5, 6, 7, and as you level these buildings up, once you hit a certain level, you can produce higher grade materials from them, and you're going to need those higher grade materials as you advance through the game. So that'll be important later on, but until you hit higher building levels, it's not too important. So we should have gotten the quest. Let's see if it appears here. Okay, I might be wrong on that. Let me collect some of these. Okay, here it is. Build 10 quarries. So I was right on that. If you build 10 quarries or 10 of any of these resource production buildings, you will get an Empire barrier, and then also some other goodies too. So it's good to do starting out. I'm pretty sure it pays for itself to build those buildings. Certainly the barrier is going to be really nice. That'll keep you safe for another day if you activate it. So real important. I would go ahead and do that. So produce 10 of each one of these 4 buildings, and you might have to destroy some to keep producing 10. You can deconstruct it. It doesn't cost anything to deconstruct. It's free if you use this free hammer, and it'll take time, more time depending on the building level. And you can use a bomb, and I mentioned earlier in the items section you can purchase these bombs, and these bombs, once you hit really high building levels, if you want to destroy one, you're going to want to use a bomb because it's going to take a long time to deconstruct it the free way. And if once you do this, it's going to tie up your building queue, so you can't build anything else until this building's done. So that's when you would want to use a bomb. Otherwise, you just click here, and yeah, you lose power if you deconstruct it. That's fine. It's kind of like this power doesn't really help you out at all. So don't worry about power. You can look at how strong they rate your account here. This is power. If you click that, it's right here. I have 268 power. I'm strong, guys. That's actually really weak, but hey, we're just getting started, so let's keep going. So normally what I do is I go ahead and produce 10 energy extractors, and then we'll do that later. I'm not going to waste your time with that. So I mentioned this is the resource section. You can also produce one building here that also makes resources for you, banks. And so we're going to have to make a bank at some point. Let's go ahead and build one. So here you can look at your resources. So stone, energy, metal, food, and then there's gil, I don't know. However you want to say that, guys. So banks will produce this, quarries this, energy, yeah, we went through that. And it also displays how much gold you have here. So I've got 400. You can buy gold, you get it for quests. There's other ways to get gold, but we'll get into that at some point. Also up top, you can see your VIP. And if you want to activate your VIP, what it does is, depending on your level, starting out, it will increase how much time you can speed up on your buildings. So right now, if you notice, let's just say here we come to build a resource vault or upgrade a resource vault. You can see how much time it is here, and if this time is under the time of your VIP, so this is 1:50, I can speed it up if I have VIP active. So that's what this VIP is. Instant construction speed. You'll produce more food at level 1, and you get quest bonuses. That and also you can do these quests if you have your VIP active. So that's what that is. And this can go up a bunch of different ways to get VIP. We'll get into all that at some point. Actually, there's not that many ways to get it. There's only a few ways to get it. Yeah, so there's 3 different buildings here. And there's banks. And the benefit of banks is they produce this resource. There are barracks. And what barracks do is, well, I guess we need to produce some other buildings first. Let's go ahead and do this. Let's upgrade. Speed this up. Let's just power through this, guys. Oh, I guess I'll go ahead and mention this. This is your resource vault. And this is the only building on this side of your wall that doesn't produce anything. What it does is it protects your resources. So if you're attacked, people can steal your resources. And if you have this building, it will protect a certain percentage of your resources, or a certain amount. So for me, it'll protect this much stone. Well, it's just even across the board. So 108,000 is safe from being looted from my empire if people attack me. And you can slide these bars over. So say you really value stone, you can max out your stone to where, you know, a decent amount is protected. You know, you might want to do that at some point, depending on what resources are most valuable to you. I'm just going to keep a general mix for now. And so that is the resource vault. It keeps your resources safe. And if you click here, you can, so this is this exclamation point on all the buildings and everything. It is information. So you can, it'll display your, you know, just general information about the building and your overall, you know, whatever that building is associated with, it will display information about it. Okay, so this treasure chest here, guys, every 10, 12 minutes or so, you can click it and get free stuff. I'd go ahead and do that. Let's just go ahead and do this too. Also, there's a casino. So you get a free spin every day, and you can purchase packs to get more spins. I would never buy a casino pack. I have in the past. It's just terrible value, so don't do that. So you get free stuff every day if you spin it. And then there's this other one, there's a proving grounds, and every day you can attack the proving grounds and it'll get you free stuff too. You can also attack this if you get ether, and you can use loyalty for it. I don't recommend it. It's just not a very good value for your loyalty. You can also buy packs for it, and then every once in a while you'll get it from like a quest or something. So in the Proving Grounds, it's a building. So this is the casino within your empire, and this is the Proving Grounds right above it. So onward. Let's keep building. Your wall, guys. What your wall will do is it will boost your defense capabilities. So your troops are going to attack stronger. You're going to get, so this will upgrade your troop attack every time you level it up. Your city defense bonus, so that's how much stronger your troops are. 10%, 15% from their base level. It also allows you to produce more traps, and traps are like a defensive building, or a defensive, what's the word for that? Item, I guess. They're traps. They're, anytime somebody attacks you, they're going to hit your traps, and that's what your traps are for, to help keep your empire safe from enemies. So as your wall goes up, you get to produce more traps, and you get stronger. Your troops get stronger when they're in your empire. So that's good stuff. And you can look at your wall on the map right here. I know, guys, this is real basic, so if you already know all this, You can fast forward or catch the next video. But yeah, so let's keep going onward. I like to look at what we get with each building upgrade. So a free 30-minute VIP usage. That's nice. A little bit more power, a little bit bigger march size, and guild helps. We'll talk about the guild helps here in a second. Boom, another upgrade. And oh, okay, guys. So now that we've leveled up some, once you hit, I think it's like Citadel 2 or 3, there is a new tab here around the map, and this is events. So you can see what's going on at any given time. We have a solo quest event. So anytime you complete a hero quest, guild quest, or a VIP quest, you'll get points, and if you get, so you'll get prizes once you hit tier 1, tier 2, and tier 3 here. So tier 1 will get common chest, common material chest. So that's for crafting items for your hero. Food boost, and that will be in the items tab if you want to use it. And then the third tab is resources. So that's cool. And there's also a monster event going on. So anytime you attack a level 1 or kill a level 1 monster, you get points. Let's go ahead and do that, actually. Let's do that. Let's right now so if you look at monsters on the map, you'll see a bar here. So all these bars are monsters. And we have 3 different types of monsters in this realm right now. There are Flan, there are Garulas, and actually there might only be 2 types of monsters right now. When I first started playing the game, there was 3, but it seems like they've kind of gotten rid of that other monster. That's too bad because it was a good monster. Okay, no problem. So let's find a level 1, and you can see the monster's level here. Now, I only have Monster Tactics level 1 research, so it won't let me attack the level 2 yet. Let's find a level 1, and I'm going to go ahead and max attack one. Let's go for the Gorilla. Max attack. And this blue line is your march. So my hero's heading that way. You can look at him here. And also here, you can see what marches you have out. I just have this one, my hero. If you want to go to it, you can. And you can also speed it up using march speed ups. And I wouldn't speed up most of your marches unless you really need to get your troops somewhere fast. It's not a very good use of loyalty. Well, it might be depending on a situation. There are tactical situations where you might need that, but I'm not there right now, so we're in no rush. Another thing to note here on your hero, this top bar is your MP, and that's what you need to attack monsters. So if you saw when I attacked this monster, I had 10,000 MP, and it costs so much per each attack. I forget what it is starting out. I probably should have looked at that. Oh well, it's on its way. Also on your hero, there is an experience bar. So as you use your hero for things, and as you level up your empire, like completing buildings and collecting quests and stuff, you'll get hero XP, and it'll level your hero. And once your hero levels up, you get skill points. So you come down here and you can make your hero stronger, different parts of your hero stronger. So hero attack, we'll get into all this later, but primarily I would focus on this left side until you get near level 50. And then you're going to want to do whatever the minimums are to level up this right side. So like for mine production, you need quarry level 2. So you might want to level this one up to level 2. Just so you can, the main thing, the reason you want to do those, they're not very good value. Like, sure, you'll produce your quarry production, but it's pretty small amounts. It seems to be much better value to go ahead and increase your different types of troop attacks. And we'll get into the troops here pretty soon. This is a war game after all. And here I am quite a ways in. I haven't even talked about troops yet. So let's keep building. We actually can't produce troops yet, not until we get a barracks. Okay. Actually, here's the training ground, guys. We actually probably can produce some troops now. Nice. So this training grounds is where you will produce and view your troops. So there's level 1 troops, level 2, and actually all the way, we're at T7 troops in the older realm. So T stands for tier, and it's just common lingo in the game. People will say T6, T1. Right now I can only produce T1 troops, or level 1 troops. And there's 4 different troop types: warriors, mages, cavalry, and siege. And how this works, guys, is mages are strong against warriors, sort of like a rock, paper, scissors. Mages beat warriors. You get so much of a troop bonus. Let's see if it says here the actual bonus. Okay, here it does say warriors are strong against cavalry and siege, but weak against mages. So let's finish this breakdown. Mages are strong against warriors. Cavalry are strong against mages. Siege are weak against all 3 of these, but they're strong against traps. And I mentioned you build traps on your wall. So sieges are good for attacking people with a lot of traps. But if they have a lot of troops also, the troops will counter the siege that you'll be attacking with. So it's sort of a rock, paper, scissors. And then warriors are strong against cavalry troops. So let's just go ahead and produce some. Why not? I can train 20 right now. It's a small amount, guys. I'm not going to do much with 20 troops, but nice. Let's just make them anyway. And if you see here, guys, so this 20 is how many you can produce right now. As you level up your training grounds, you can produce more. And also, if you build barracks buildings, it increases the amount of troops you can train. So for every level 1 barracks I create, I can produce 10 more troops. And as you upgrade it, the number keeps going up and up and up. If you can see here, there's upgrade requirements. So I can't upgrade to level 2 until I get my training grounds up to level 2. So we'll do that at some point. So I mentioned there's slots here. There's 3 different buildings you can produce in these slots inside your empire. So barracks, banks, and then hospital wards. And what hospitals do, hospital wards, is anytime somebody attacks you, some of your troops might be wounded and will go to the hospital. And if you have a bunch of wards, the hospital can hold more troops. So what it does is it prevents your troops from dying. So let's just go ahead and build one here. Or level it up some. Yeah, just build it. And you can view your hospital. It's this building here. Yeah, let's visit it. Let's do it. Boom. So you can upgrade it. And so anytime troops are attacked, or your empire is attacked by other empires, some of your troops might be wounded, and you can heal them up here. So you'll see, like, if I'm attacked, my 20 cavalry will probably go here, and then you can queue it up, and then there's a free heal, or you can use gold to heal. I would always use the free heal, and then there'll be an icon here that you can speed it up if you want. And it also allows your guildmates, they can help. So now let's get into a little bit more into guild. Actually, let's just talk about guilds first, because this is one of the most important things in the game. Is you're going to have to join a guild right off the bat if you want to attack monsters and to do other things. I just joined a random one. At some point, you can leave your guild if you want to. You can leave and then join different guilds. And guilds are super important, guys, because your guildmates, there's so many different things you can do with your guild. For one, you can, so your guildmates, I mentioned, they're this blue font on the map. You can trade resources to guildmates. So I actually don't have a trading post yet. You need a trading post to trade. So that's a building I'm going to have to make here in a minute. But so you can send resources to people. So say I need like apple. Say I need apples or food, and this guy needs stone. I can send him stone, and if he wants, he can send me apple. So you can only trade resources or send resources to guildmates. So, you know, if I wanted, I could just give this guy all my resources. I don't know why I'd do that, but I could if I wanted. And he's not, your guildmates aren't obligated to give you stuff, but it's good to help each other out. You'll advance through the game quicker if you're communicating with your guild. And you can do that by the chat here. So all this text here, this is a chat. There's a realm chat, so you can talk to anybody in the entire realm. So that's any person in this entire section. They have access to the realm chat, so you can talk to anybody. You know, realm chat. Whoop, looks like my keyboard's glitching out of me. Interesting. Yeah, the realm chat, there isn't too much. You know, if you have a question, you can ask it here, or if you want to, you know, you can just general chat. Usually not too much is going on here. You know, sometimes you see people ask good questions, and you can see what people respond to the questions. And then there's the guild chat. So these are all your guildmates, and each guild holds up to 100 people. We have 28 right now. So each guild holds up to 100 people. And here we can look here. There's the comment section. Most guilds don't like people commenting a lot because you get a stupid notification here. And typically, if you want to communicate with your guildmates, I would just use the chat, the guild chat. And so these are your allies essentially. Guild is a group of people who band together to accomplish a goal, to help each other out, to protect each other. So that's another thing. If oh, my guildmate just, oh no, I need to recenter my empire. So I mentioned if you get lost here, you can click this top one, this icon in the top left. Or what I do is I just double click this bottom left one, and it'll recenter me. Yeah, so you can also reinforce guildmates. So if you see that a guildmate's going to be attacked, sometimes you get a notification here if he's attacked by a group of people, or you'll see a line going to him, and he might type in chat, I'm under attack, help. So I could reinforce this guy because I'm close to him. He doesn't have an embassy yet, so I can't do it. But once we advance in the game, everybody has an embassy, and you can reinforce players. Another thing I'll mention real quick is you see there's this orb around my empire. This is a barrier. This is what's, each one of us is safe from attack as long as this barrier is around us. And that's also what this icon is on the right here. It's just displaying my barrier. You can see here I have 21 hours left. Anytime you use a temporary boost, it's going to be displayed here. So if you have like that food boost that I got earlier, you know, you can click it here, and it'll display how much time's left. There's also other boosts you can get. There's a fake army one, and what that one does, it's kind of cool. Anytime you're scouting, it's going to display that you have twice as many troops as you actually have. So say I have 20 troops, which I do. If I hit this, if somebody scouts me, it'll say I have 40 troops. And to scout somebody, you click their empire, an enemy. It has to be somebody that's not in your guild, and you can scout them this way, and it'll send you a report. It'll send a report here. And you can click it, and you can see what level his buildings are, and you know how many troops he has, what are his composition. If he has all warriors, it'll display it right in the report. Okay, we also got a report from attacking this monster. And when you attack monsters, guys, the real benefit of attacking monsters is you get loyalty, and you're going to get, usually you get a resource. In this case, I got some stone and some metal. You'll also get monster fragments, which you can use for research in your university. In the Adventures tab is what these monster fragments are for. I also got Hardened Hide level 3, which is a material used for crafting. Haven't talked about crafting yet, but we'll get there. And you get XP. So if I want to level up my hero, I can use that XP. It's displayed right at this plus sign here. And so anytime you get XP from events or attacking monsters, this is where it goes. And you can also use loyalty, which is this little icon here, for XP. I would never do that because it's super expensive. You might want to use a the XP bonus boost is okay. It'll increase the experience for 24 hours. That's much more valuable later game than these, but I wouldn't do that early game. Like if you're under Citadel 30, I wouldn't use it. You're not going to get much value out of it. But yeah, so you can use loyalty, but it's not a good deal, guys. It takes a long time to get 2.4 million, and it's a lot easier to get 5 million XP other ways. Yep, so that's that. And your MP, it regenerates on its own at a certain rate, and you can increase that rate through research in the hero tab, and also through items. There's certain items that you can craft and equip on your hero. So let's talk about that real quick. You have a weapon, a helmet, body armor, feet, and 3 accessories if you unlock this one, which you do at a certain, okay, it's armory level 20. So once I level up my building, armory to level 20, you get a 3rd item here. And yeah, so jeweled ring's nice. It'll produce food. You can unequip stuff, equip it. You can embed it with gems, and that's a big feature. You're going to want to embed your gear at some point. I don't have any gems yet. You get gems. You might get some from the quests, from attacking monsters, you know, stuff like that. You can buy gems with loyalty, but again, I don't really recommend that all that much. Yeah, so back to guilds, guys. Because you're going to be spending a lot of time talking with your guild, and the better, more active your guild mates, it's just good for you in general, guys. It's really good. There's guild helps, so anytime I produce a building or any upgrade, actually let's do that. It'll display it on the research for sure. So I'm going to research, let's go ahead and research combat, scouting. Let's see, what do I need here? Oh, I need university 2. Okay, let's not do that one yet. Let's do an economics one. So this upgrading this one will increase your, so how much time your buildings will be done. Instant construction speed up 30 seconds. So what that is, guys, is I can speed up this 30 seconds quicker, basically. So see how this thing, this research that I'm doing in the university, see how it says help here, guys? If I hit that, your guildmates are going to get an icon here. It's going to look like the hands, the shaking hands. So if I click that, this is going to display for everybody, and they can hit help, and it's going to decrease the time that this takes. So this will drop from 2 minutes probably to 1 minute if somebody hits help. And you can do that for other people too. Every time you see hands here, go ahead and click it, click help, and you get 100 loyalty each time you do it also. So it's a good way to generate loyalty. So this guy just sped it up. I got a notification, and boom. So it's down to less than a minute now. So really nice, guys. The best thing about the helps, in my opinion, are you get loyalty, and you can use that in the guild store, which you can see here in the items. There's the guild store here, or there's the tab when you're looking at your guild. There's the guild store. Comments, you can help people with resources. So it's a good way of finding people too, is if you come here and you don't, let's just say you don't know where a guildmate is. If you click resource help, you can send them like 1 apple, and you can see where the line goes. The line on your realm map. So when you send somebody resources, it'll send a march. And you only have so many marches, so you can only send so much each time. But you'll see the arrows, and you'll see like cute little bird-looking thing marching across the map. So if you send somebody a resource, you can follow that line to try and locate them if you want. I'm not going to do that yet because I can't, but soon, once I level up my building some, I can. Reinforce guild help. You can look at your members. So if you come here, you can see all the people in the guild, and you can see their power. And you can also see, if you click here, you can message anybody individually, or you can view their profile. So this guy's pretty strong for like a brand new realm. This is the guild leader. I'm guessing he spent some money because this realm just opened up today, guys. This is brand new here. You can see how many monsters he's killed. You can look at his hero level. So he's got a level 12 right now. Or this lady, actually. It might be a girl. Might just not have updated the picture. Either way. Let's see. And then you can manage guild. You can look at the public profile of the guild here. And most guilds, guys, they're going to have a power requirement. And so like this guild, a 5,000 power requirement. I haven't hit that yet, but I'll get there soon enough. And boom, yeah. So stats. What is stats here? Oh, okay. You can look at just displays the power of you and your guildmates. Now, one of the big things about being in a guild, guys, is you can do a thing called rallies. So say there's a guy on the map you want to attack, you can click him, and then you can either send a solo march, so an attack wave at him. If I do that, yep, that's good to know. Hospital doesn't. These troops, I can attack them, and I can send my 20 cavalry. Chances are you're going to probably have some troops die if he has anything defending his empire. And if all your troops die, it's possible to lose all your troops if you attack somebody, all the troops that you send at somebody. So if I send 20 cavalry, it's possible that all 20 will die. And you can also send your hero along with it. And there's no harm in sending your hero along with your troops until your Citadel is level 15. And then your hero could be captured once you're above Citadel 15. We'll get into that at another point. I'm not going to attack him yet, or attack anybody, because I don't want to lose my barrier. That's keeping me safe. And you lose your barrier if you attack somebody. But there's another thing called a rally. And what this rally does, guys, is you can set a rally, and it's going to send a notification to all your guildmates saying, I'm attacking this guy, send forces to me, and you can attack them with me, all in one attack. So it's really good for attacking stronger people. You can also do that while attacking the crystal. So you can rally the crystal, at least in 6 hours you can, for me. And that's a good way for capturing the crystal, because there might be so many, there might be like, let's just say there's 10,000 troops in the crystal. If I can only send 5,000, or not even 5 yet, I can only send 3,000 troops right now. So if there's 10,000 guarding the crystal, my 3,000 troops are probably not going to win that battle. They're probably all going to die. But if you hit rally, you can send out notification. Your other guildmates can send troops to you. And we'll do some examples of this later on. But go ahead and experiment in your realm, guys. Do some rallies, have some fun. It's one of the funnest things in a game is rallying with your guildmates. So, and it's a good way to get, if I can only send 3,000, so even if I have 10,000 troops trained, I can only send 3,000 at a time per march. But if I do a rally, I can get so many from everybody else, and I can do pretty decent attack once I level up my, what do I need for that? Is that the embassy? Oh, this building here. Let's see, reinforcement capacity. Heroes Monument. Oh, here it is, guys. Okay, I was going crazy. They've moved some buildings around on me. This guild hall will allow you to increase your rally capacity. So you're going to need to be Citadel 9 before you can rally anybody. But once you do that, I could conceivably have my guildmates send me up to 30,000 troops to attack. So I'll have my 3,000, or once I hit level 9, I'll have 9,000. And then I can get 30,000 from guildmates. So I'll be attacking with 39,000 troops. So it's really nice to have that capacity. And if you want to capture the crystal, you'll probably need that unless you're a lot stronger than everybody else that's going for the crystal. Ooh, 1,000 energy. And here's a guild help. Let's help this guy out quick. And you can get up to 10,000 loyalty a day doing helps. So anytime somebody produces a building and hits help, I can help them, and up to 10,000 each day, and that resets every day. So I get 10,000 the next day, so on and so forth. Yeah, so another big thing with the guilds is, you know, you want to talk to your guild mates, you want to ask questions, you want to answer questions, help everybody out. Any type of, let's say you can talk with your guildmate, say, I want to attack the crystal in 6 hours. Who else is down? Anybody have teleports that we can go attack the crystal together? So, you know, in a couple hours, I might even do that just for fun, just to show you guys how it works. But, you know, I can teleport here. I have 1 teleport, and I can get my guildmates. We could all fill up a circle around this, and or a section here, and rally that crystal. So we'll probably do that at some point. Okay, I realized I left something out earlier. So there's, so moving back to buildings that you can build barracks, wards, and banks. And once you hit level 10 on these buildings, you get additional boosts that will make your troops stronger. Barracks are good for attacks. You get attack power that way if you have a lot of barracks. So if each one of these spaces, I could produce all barracks, and once they each are at level 10, I'll get so much attack percent, a troop attack bonus. So every time I attack, my troops will be that much stronger for, you know, dealing damage to other people. Hospital wards will give you some HP, so your troops will be harder to kill. And then banks will give you armor, and armor will also make your troops harder to kill. So I should probably get into that. You can there's 3 different boosts for making your troops stronger. There's, so I just mentioned it, there's HP, attack, and armor. Attack means you'll kill or wound more troops when you attack people, or when people attack you. And armor, now that is, it's similar to HP. They synergize well. So if you have a lot of armor and a lot of HP, your troops are going to be really tough. The main difference is there are ways to ignore people's armor when they attack or when you attack. There's a thing called armor penetration. So ideally you want some armor and you want some HP, but yeah, the real benefit to HP is it's immune to armor penetration. So there is some advantage to building banks, or excuse me, to building hospital wards, because that will increase your troop HP. But it only increases it by a small percentage. Actually, the banks increase your armor by a sizable percentage more. So if you're being attacked by somebody without armor penetration, banks are slightly better. But if they have armor penetration, yeah, that's not good if you have a lot of banks. And also, I mentioned the more hospital wards you build, and the higher their level, your hospital capacity goes up. So that's going to keep more troops safe, and or more troops from dying if you're being attacked. So there is a benefit to having all hospital wards or more hospital wards, because you're going to keep your troops alive. You're just going to have to heal them up when you're attacked. But that is worth knowing that they have bonuses. They have bonuses, guys. They have bonuses associated with each one of them. You could do a mix of the buildings. You could do all hospital wards if you think you're going to be attacked a lot. That might be the way to go, because then you won't have to keep training more troops. You can just heal them instead. You can go all barracks, and that will be good for attacking. So that'll be best if you're attacking the crystal a lot. The big downside of all barracks is, another benefit of barracks is you can train more troops at once. So if you have all barracks and all leveled up, you don't have to constantly every 5 minutes log in and hit train. You can just queue up like 10,000 troops at once, and it's going to not get done any sooner, but you won't have to constantly log in every 10 minutes to keep training more. You can just train 10,000 at once, log in the next day. So it saves you some time in clicking if you have all barracks. Yeah, it'll save you a lot of clicking for sure. But I'll probably do some combination of barracks and hospital wards on this account. I might make another bank or two, and I might make 10 banks just to get, so I can go ahead and produce 10 banks, get the free 24-hour Empire barrier, and then deconstruct them, and then I'll produce probably half and half wards and barracks. What other? Let's go back to building, guys. Let's do it. Okay, I will mention one more thing about guilds. So this is turning into a long video, isn't it? This is just the basics, guys. This is like the basics. So it's real important to choose your guild really carefully, because if you're in a really strong guild, you're going to be much more likely to get resource help. You're going to be more likely to have the players active, and that means you're going to get more guild helps. You're going to get more people helping you, so your resources, your research will get done quicker, your buildings will get done quicker, you have more options to get resource help, and it's good to find a nice, good community, because it's one of the funnest things, talking to your guildmates, figuring things out together, reinforcing each other. It's really what makes this game good, in my opinion. It's your guildmates, it's the community, and guild is your community, guys. This is your neighborhood, man. These are the people that you're in battle with. So choose your guildmates carefully. If nobody's talking, or if nobody's helping each other out, just leave and find a guild that's more active, and help each other out, guys. That's what it's all about. That's what this game is all about. So back to building. Let's do it. Oh, actually, real quick, guys. Let's see here. Let's find a monster. Let's find another Garula, and let's see if we can attack. Yes, so it's 1,500 per attack, and if you do a lot of hero research, you can drop that number. You can make that number go down to where it only takes 12 or even 1,000 per hit. Yeah, guys. So my hero's left my empire. He'll be back in 2 minutes. He'll get to that monster, and then it'll take about 3 minutes to get back. So while he's gone, oh, one other thing too, guys. Every time you hit enough XP, so once I get 4,000 XP, my hero will level up to level 2. And at level 2, or every time you level up, your MP will be maxed. So what I would do is I would try to time it. Try to time your attacks to where, your attacks. Try to use all your MP before your hero's about to level. So my MP's, about down to, it's pretty close to 0. Now would be a good time to level up my hero and remax it to 10,000. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. To level up my hero, I'm going to collect some of these. And boom, so I hit level 2. Nice. We can, if we want, we can come over here to the Ascension tree and use some of my skill points. Let's increase my hero attack for now. I would normally not recommend leveling this above level 2. Excuse me, above level 2, because that's what I need to increase warrior, cavalry, and mage attack. Boom. So real quick, guys, if we look here, 10,000. So I can now do a whole nother wave of attacks on a monster. So real nice, guys. Try to time it. Another thing to do is, the reason I haven't collected any of these yet is because I don't want to level up my hero until I can get this MP down to 0. It's like free. You get free stuff basically. So attack. Log in every couple hours, do an attack. It takes a couple of seconds, and you get free stuff. Why not, guys? And yeah, so there's that, guys. If I wanted, I could level up my hero all at once, but I don't want to do that, because I want to get as much as I can value out of that MP. So yeah, it's just a little trick, guys. A little trick for being able to attack more. My empire's here, but my game's kind of glitched out on me. It's unfortunate. Yeah, guys. So I would just try to always have a building under construction, and try to always always have research going, because it's free, guys. It's free to keep these buildings going. So just keep it going. Oh, let's research recovery quick. Nice. And as long as these are going, you have chances for people to speed it up. You can get this research done quicker, the buildings done quicker. No reason not to keep producing and upgrading your buildings unless you run out of resources. Then you're going to have to get resources before you can keep building stuff. So I guess that's pretty much the fundamental basics of this game. Yeah, I think the next video will probably be more about attacking people, defending. We'll keep going with this. We'll make it a whole new series of basics and fundamentals on this game, because there's so many questions that I'm sure a lot of beginners have when they start playing this game. But for now, guys, level up your buildings. Go ahead and max out all your buildings. What I would do, guys, is I would keep leveling up your resource producing buildings to the level of your Citadel. And it's going to keep your resources coming in, keep producing more and more resources, and because you're going to need those, and you're going to need higher capacities for doing these buildings. And I would go ahead and just keep training troops, train everything, try to train a mix. No reason, well, at least a mix of these three, and then you might want some siege, but these are your main three attacking troops. Siege really aren't that great. I'm just being honest, guys. Warriors, mages, and cavalry are really where it's at. So produce a bunch. You're going to need them for defending your empire. You're going to need them for attacking. You're going to need them for rallying. Tons of reasons to build troops. And one thing I will say quick, guys, and it's one thing that took me a long time to figure out when I was starting, but if you click on your farms, so come over here, click on your farm, notice here, total hourly upkeep. So I have to, what happens here, guys, is as you produce troops, they're going to require food to, they just require food to upkeep them. So if you can see here, I produce 135 an hour, but 20 of that is going to my troops. So, if you have a ton and a ton of troops, eventually your upkeep might cost more than your income. And this is fine. That's okay. The only problem with it is your food is going to start to dwindle, and it's going to eventually hit zero, guys. And it gets kind of annoying when you have no food, because you have to keep using more items if you want to level up your buildings. But what took me a long time to figure out is once this hits zero, your troops don't die. All your troops that you've made, they're safe. Like, they don't actually need food to survive. So once you hit zero, don't worry, your troops aren't going to die. The only downside to it is, if you're going to have to do research, and you're going to have to produce buildings, and you're going to have to use either gold or get food another way if your troops are costing more than you can maintain through your farms. So you could go all farms to try to keep up with your upkeep. Most people don't. Most people just have one farm, and they let their upkeep be like millions of times greater than their production, and they just let their food go to zero. And then anytime they need to produce a building, there's a couple things you could do. You can use any items you have saved up. So I have food items saved up. You could use gold. You could, if you want, farm. So there's tiles on the map, and the food ones, it looks like apples or berries or something. I guess it's apples. But you click on this and you can occupy it. I have 20 cavalry, so I can send all 20 cavalry to farm up this food tile. And you can see here, I'll get 80. This is how much they'll come back with. So I can send up to 3,000 troops per tile at my level. And if I send 20, they'll come back with 80 in 3 hours and 20 minutes. So, you know, I don't have enough troops to really make it worth it yet. But that's one way to get food. And then you just have to time your building construction to when your marches get back. Probably the best way, guys, and this is what I would highly recommend, and this will probably be the next video, because it's maybe one of the first things you should do starting out, is make a bunch of accounts. Go ahead and make there's no reason not to keep making accounts, and what you do is you just level up your account. So make a bunch of accounts, guys, and teleport them next to your empire. So like, this is my coordinates. Teleport them wherever you want to go on the map. You might want to, what a lot of people do is their guilds will go to a specific location and they'll form like a big group of, so you basically be next to all your guildmates. So we'll see if we do that. But you know, communicate with your guild, see where everybody's at. You might want to move to one location or find a good location on the map. Group up, because then you can trade resources quicker, you can defend each other easier, and you can do rallies together. Really good to do that. Where was I going with that? Oh, but here's the thing, guys. If you make like 10 accounts, you can teleport them around your empire or to where your guild is and level up. So what a lot of people do, they're called farm accounts, by the way. Make farm accounts and just produce all of one resource. So you can do all quarries, one account with all quarries maxed, one account with all mines maxed, one account with all food maxed, so just a ton of farms, and then attack that with your troops to loot it. And you want to come here, and I'll make a video on this probably next, because I think it's really important to have a bunch, but set your resource vault on your farms to 0, and you can get all the food that your farms produce. So every time you need to level up a building, attack your farm a bunch, collect up food, do the upgrade, and then let your food dwindle back to 0. That's what most people do, or spend gold every time you need to do an upgrade, and just enough. So like this building, to upgrade my mine, it's going to cost 80 food. So you know, I would only have to attack my farm probably 1 or 2 times to get 80 food. You don't want to collect too much more than you need at any given point on food if your upkeep is greater than your production, because it's just going to go into the ether, right? It's just lost. It's burned up, guys. Your apples rot if you if your upkeep's greater than your production. So I'll make a video on that. That'll be the next beginner's video. Real important, guys. Make a bunch of accounts, make farms, and attack them to keep your production going. So yeah, guys, that's like the basic of the basics. So yeah, guys. So if you're just getting started, I hope this helped you out. And Drone B out.